You can't see. Go ahead.
Like that. 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 Like that.
I understand.
Shuck it, duck it. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How all of y'all doing? Oh, boy, we got a lively, lovely looking, lively cast tonight. I think everybody is here who need to be here. We keep losing people. People keep where they keep going there. Okay. But anyway, we welcome our guest tonight. I'm Julius Hall, and welcome to the Rabble, our Wednesday show, the premier show, right after Run Tell That.
Oh, well, that's what it is now. Oh, okay, all right. But
We're in prime time. Prime time is this time. You know, that's why I say premier show. We're in prime time. And then God ain't been on my show yet. So I got the wait on card to come, you know. So
I guess
he's been on your show.
God will pay the Rabble a visit. God will pay the Rabble because God with America After Dark. God got afraid after America After Dark with Bernard Brown. Is he on here?
I don't know where he at right now.
I just want to say good evening to all the guests we have on the show. I'm Charlie Brown. We can start with you, Mr. Taylor. Tell them who you are, and then we'll go to Rhodes. Mr. Todd Rhodes after that.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Jaha Taylor. I guess you say I'm a member of the community. I've been born and raised here. Went to school and college here. Played sports throughout, and now I own my own training business, which is called Amped Up Training. I also own adult recreational segment, which is called Amped Up Recreational Sports here in Savannah. I'm heavily involved in sports. One of the main things I do is adult flag football. I've been doing that across the nation for about 17 years. And also, we have also made Savannah a top tier national team around the nation. We're very highly recognized amongst players in the nation. And then I'm here trying to make a positive change in my area to give other kids who may want the same opportunity to have those opportunities. So I'm here to make a difference. I'm trying to be the change that I speak of.
Appreciate it.
What high school did you attend? What high school did you attend? What high school?
The great HBJ Jenkins.
Hey, hold up just a minute, sir. Hold up just a second. Okay, I'm through now.
John Taylor. So what are you training?
What's y'all be nice and let the other gentleman talk? Mr. Long, go ahead.
I need to know what he trains.
Oh, he gonna get back to all that. They're just doing a little introduction now, Sonia.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, everybody. Look, I'm blessed and honored to be in the presence of some great people here. Thank y'all for inviting me. My name is Todd A. Rhodes Jr.
Somebody got some feedback.
Some bad feedback.
Do you hear me now? I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I am a president of a nonprofit youth organization called the Savannah Royal Lions Youth Organization. We've been founded since 2014 of March. And look, I'm just so excited to be able to pour into the community. I am a youth minister. I also am an entrepreneur. I have my own landscaping business. I just want to be a blessing to this community. I'm on fire. So let me burn. I'm ready to help. I'm ready to volunteer. And I, by the way, graduated from the Alfred Eli Beach High School, which is the best high school in the world.
Lord have mercy.
Thank you for sharing that.
Crystal, don't say nothing either, Crystal. Leave it alone.
I think we can go to Linda Thornton now.
We're gonna pass that, Todd. We're gonna pass that.
Good evening. My name is Malinda Gwen Thornton, and I thank you all for this opportunity to come on this panel. It has been a delight getting to speak with Todd. I look forward to meeting Jaha and helping them with their programs in the near future. I'm Malinda Gwen. I'm the president of the Cloverdale Neighborhood Association, Cloverdale Civic Improvement Association. And I'm here to address some issues when the time presents itself, as I was falsely accused, slanderous statements made in the episode of last week, June 30th, by our county commissioner chairman, Ellis. So we'll expound on that a little bit later. But thank you for the invitation.
One of the things I just like to piggyback for a minute. You did say you're the president or former president of Cloverdale.
No, sir. I am the current elected president of the Cloverdale Civic Improvement Association.
Okay.
I was the vice president under Curtis Victor Cooper Jr. and prior to that, the secretary. So I have been involved.
Yeah. You're like an icon person over there, and I got to compliment you for the work you do.
I appreciate that now, but I needed your help last week. But we'll address that a little bit later in the program.
She's the HNIC.
And your brother remember what organization? Your brother remember what organization? What organization?
Alpha Phi Alpha. The Alpha Phi Alpha, and they have been a great support to him. Yeah.
Be nice.
However, my father, Reverend Willie Gwen, was charter line Phi Beta Sigma at Savannah State. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Jay. You on, buddy.
What high school you went to? Malinda, what high school did you go to?
Pardon?
What high school did you attend?
We plead the fifth on that.
Okay.
Not that we are ashamed. I'm very proud, but I'm just not going there. That's in the past. I'm moving forward.
HCJ.
All right.
HCJ.
All right.
HCJ.
All right. Who's next? Oh, they go down our favorite commissioner.
You know what? It always got to be one.
Woo! Woo! You know, with all that introduction, you know, I'm just a nobody trying to be somebody great in this world. That's all I got to say. I'm just a nobody trying to be somebody in this world. Charlie Brown, I am Jay Jones. I am retired. I am the best parent that money can ever buy. Family guy. Try to make sure I answer the phone as much as I possibly can without my wife being mad at me about sitting at home doing absolutely nothing but answering this phone. But I am a servant. And you know, I wasn't even going to bring my towel out until some people wanted to talk about something, but you know I'm gonna wipe my forehead every now and then. I am a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I am a graduate of Alfred Eli Beach High School. I did attend Windsor Forest. I will make sure I put that footnote out there. And I am a proud graduate of the program Mr. Charlie Brown spoke of, and I wish they would bring it back because it was too many entrepreneurs coming out of the Entrepreneur Center, and that's why they had to shut it down. But I ain't here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the facts.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Jay. Thank you for sharing that, Jay.
Doc, you can go ahead and tell them who you are a little bit. They know who you are already. You went to Herschel B. Jenkins. That's correct?
Don't
Yes, sir.
remind me.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. And we on
Excuse me just for a minute. Excuse me for a minute.
I thought he went to Windsor Forest.
I'm back now. I'm back. Go ahead.
Run tell that we glad to be on the Rabble with our family. You know, glad to be on the Rabble with our family. And then we got a surprise coming up too. We're gonna be running with that too. Later on, we're gonna be doing that.
All righty.
Surprise.
Go ahead, Mr. McKeithen. Go ahead. Let Mr. McKeithen tell who she is, and then we can get serious about what's going on with them football fields and what's going on.
Well, since we doing that, I am the first and the finest, Alpha Kappa Alpha. I am NASA over here in Houston, Texas. I am the owner of of the Coastal Nonprofit Resource Center. I am that I am, so I am all things possible, actually.
You seem a little nervous tonight or something too. Is there anybody on the panel that's got you kind of like nervous or something?
Go to hell. How about that?
Julia, the doctor's in the house. The doctor got all nervous up. That's the problem.
I'm a graduate of the best high school in Savannah that they had to name it after Savannah. How about that? Savannah High School. How about that? How about that? So the first blue and white.
Okay.
Julius Hall. All right. Blue and white.
Thank you. I wanna thank all y'all. Now, Julius, we can get with the topic, whatever gonna be first. We need to address it.
Yeah.
Who are you then?
Excuse me?
Who are you?
Oh, he's just Richard Arnold.
No, we got to find out. You asked everybody else who they were. Who are you?
I told you wasn't listening. I told him I was Charlie Brown. I said it at first. I'm Charlie Brown. I've been around for a while, and my main purpose is to try to make Savannah and Chatham County a pretty damn fair community. And I see things are not happening now, and I am concerned about what's going on in Chatham County Athletic Department or whatever they want to call it. It's too Chatham, and it shouldn't be two Chatham. It should be only one Chatham, and the Chatham for all the people, not some of the people in special interest group. That's not right. And we don't talk about it, then we have the issues and the problem. You know,
that was a question for last week. That was a question for last week. We talking about one child. I'm leaving it on back to me.
Oh no, we tried to be pretty kind to Mr. Ellis last week when he was on the show. He's the chairman. We try to be respectful, and he did put his number out there and say for these young people to call him. And I don't know if they try to call him or not, but again, we're gonna leave. Julie's got questions for you, and you guys can talk.
We're going to get to that next. But first, we want to talk to Mr. Rhodes on the incident that happened to him this week, because we want to know exactly what happened. So tell our viewers what happened with you this week?
It's been a pretty rough week for me with this situation. It happened on Monday. Around about 4 p.m. In the neighborhood I stay in, which is in Midtown Savannah. My son was playing with his friend like a normal kid would, riding around in a golf cart with his friend. His friend, of course, is Caucasian. So they stop, and the girl that he is talking to, they go to school together. My son and the girl go to school together, so they know each other as friends. So to make a long story short, the father comes out of the house, and he hits the Caucasian boy, which was in the driver's seat of the golf cart, and he calls my son a nigger. He say, "Nigga, you."
Wait. Give us a caveat. What neighborhood are we in?
And then he called him a ninja. We can't say that.
What neighborhood are we in?
Because they'll stop us.
Okay, I'm sorry. He called him the N-word.
What neighborhood are we in?
We're talking about Magnolia Park neighborhood. We're talking about right across from Jenkins High School.
You in a white neighborhood. Oh, okay, go ahead.
So,
can I ask you a question? How old was the kid he hit? The little Caucasian or white boy? How old was he?
14 years old.
Okay.
14. So we're dealing with teenagers here. So when the situation happens, my son looking, he say, "Daddy, I'm just looking like, what's going on?" And he told him, he said, "You N-word, you need to be hung. You need to die." And
what?
He
told him, let me put myself on mute.
He need to die, and he also need to go back where he come from. So when my son seen it was a situation like that, he told his friend, he said, "Look, let's get out of here. Let's leave. Let's go." Upon them leaving, the guy chased after them in the golf cart. So when my son came home, I was just getting off of work. Matter of fact, me and my wife, we was getting ready I was trying to hurry up, get ready, because we were going to go out to dinner. So I'm just walking in the door from work, and my son come in the door. I mean, he's sweating. He looks like something happened. So I said, "Son, what's going on? Talk to me. What's going on?" He said, "Daddy, a man that chased me. He called me the N-word, and he said he should have hung me, and I need to be dead, and all this and all that." I said, "Well, who, son?" And he told me, I said, "You know what this guy is? So what's up?" And he showed me. So we hopped in the truck. My smartest thing to think at the time was to go ahead and call 911 on the phone before I even ride to this guy's house, just in case if something went sour, I know. But at the same time, I didn't go to his house to cause a conflict. I wanted to talk to him first to ask him, "Did you call my son that N-word?" That's what I wanted to know. So what I did was I rang the doorbell, and I walked back into the sidewalk, because the sidewalk belongs to the city of Savannah. It doesn't belong to him, and I'm not on his property. So as I'm waiting, two white females came to the door, and I asked them, I said, "Hey, is the man of the house here?" And they said, "Yes, just a minute." So it took about 10 minutes. It seemed like it was between 5-10 minutes, and he finally came out of the door. When he came out of the door, he didn't come out humble at all. He came out like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And when he came out, I told him, I said, "Look here, you better back up." I didn't want him coming within reach of me. So as soon as I said that, as we going back and forth, I asked him, I said, "Did you call my son the N-word?" He was like, "Yeah, you shouldn't have been over here talking to my daughters. You need to learn how to tell your son to stay with his own." And then as he going back and forth, I said, "No, call me one. Don't call him one. That's a child. I'm a man. Call me one. I want you to." So as I'm on the phone with 911, they said, "Sir, what's going on? We got officers on the way. Calm down, calm down." He then tell me, "I'll kill you, and I got plenty of guns." And then he runs in the house. So at that particular point, I don't know what he's going to get. I don't know what he's going to do. So therefore, the 911 operator, she heard him, and she told me that I need to leave the premises, like get away somewhere safe. So that's what I did, because I had my son with me. So when the police arrived, they came and asked me what happened. They didn't spend a whole lot of time with me and the kids. They asked my son's friend. They asked him, did he was hit? He said yes. He showed them where he got hit at on his arm and everything. By time this thing here was out there for maybe about 30 minutes, the officer came back to me and said that they're going to write it up as a simple battery.
No, he's gonna go to jail right then. That's
Charlie. Let him finish, Charlie. I'm trying. Let him finish, y'all.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
The other problem that I had as well with the officer The officer said this. The officer said he did admit to calling your son the N-word, and it was only because he's having a problem with his daughter sneaking boys and talking to boys.
Well, that's his hoe.
Chandra, let the man talk. Y'all let him finish.
So I told the officer, the body cam was on the whole time. I told the officer, I said, look, he need to correct his daughter, not my son. I said, my son did not come here as a friend. He didn't come here to have an intercourse or anything. He's just talking to somebody he know out of school. But however, after all of that, I said, well, what about the threats? He threatened my son. That's a terroristic threat, and he threatened to kill me while I was on the phone with the 911 operator. She heard him. They tell me, well, you have to we have a police report right here. This is the number, and we need you to go to the courthouse, and you can press charge. You can go down there and get a prescription, whatever. They didn't
restraining order.
These kids,
14 years old. 14.
Okay. Now, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on this play. Because if the 911 officer heard him say, I will, what he said, Todd?
You say, I got plenty of weapons, I got guns, and I will kill you.
Okay. Julius Hall, when you were an officer, would that have been a terroristic threat?
well, you had enough. The officer had enough to arrest him by just the witnesses saying that he hit the kid. He had no right to hit that kid unless the kid was his. He had no right to hit that kid. The witnesses were enough for the officer to take him into custody, and they did not. They did not perform their jobs properly. They did not train properly, I guess, because they should have known that was probable cause enough for them to effect the arrest.
That's cruelty to young people. That's cruelty to the kids.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm going to appoint myself to email what is the chief's email address. I'm going to appoint myself to give me, Todd, after we get off this, you're going to give me the citation number. You're going, and Julius, I know for a fact you have Chief Minster's email address.
Jamal probably got it.
I got Mentor's email.
Somebody got it.
Yeah.
Jay got it.
Jay, somebody got it. Because, and somebody got that officer's name.
I have his name.
Oh, because
it's on the report. It's on the report.
Okay.
Yeah, everything on the report. Just call Mentor. Just do your thing.
If I'm nothing else, I'm a writer. Okay, I'm a certified writer because I'm a grant writer. Okay, I get millions of dollars. Okay, so I'm going to write Chief Minster because at the time that happened, it shouldn't have been. I'm going to give you this citation number. This should have been, I'm going to arrest him right now because that was certifiable. That was arrest right there. Right on the spot.
You know the thing, son, you know the thing.
What's your opinion
I'm hearing?
on this?
The thing I'm hearing that it was cruelty to young people, but at the same time abuse. It's white privilege again. What took place because If it was a black man, I feel strongly if Charlie Brown would have grabbed a kid, shake him or whatever, they would have locked Charlie Brown up.
So they
would have had your fucking picture on the front page of the news and on the newspaper.
Right.
Brown.
Right.
Jay asked Dr. Torre a question.
Yeah, well, I'll share this with you. I did respond to Todd, and we had some conversation about this. And It was terroristic threat straight up. It was now. Let me go and say, they have arrested people for where somebody had a dispute with somebody on the porch. They went back to a house and they had a dispute, just a normal argument. We were going to say, and then the person goes and say, "I'm gonna come back and get you." They have arrested folks for terroristic threat just for something as simple as that. That's on Todd told me. I'm like, that's a terroristic threat, and then he said, and he admitted it. So that goes to show you again the issue with regards to the officers, and that's why we had the conversation. I'm trying to say, yo, you need to contact our councilwoman with regards to this. And
so that was a mission of guilt. A mission of guilt.
And the officers didn't do anything about it. So they weren't, because again, they weren't concerned. And that goes to show you the disparity with regard to the treatment of our people.
Exactly.
Barnwell said, Todd, did you request the supervisor to come?
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of emotions, a lot of things with this overwhelming at that time. But let me tell you how God works. The very next day, a supervisor, a sergeant called me, and she was beyond more than helpful. She looked into it. She pulled the body cams of the police officers. She also too getting the 911 recording. She called me on today, but it was another detective that called me on today. At the time, I was at the courthouse, so I couldn't answer my phone. But I did call back and leave a message. So that's still pending. But as soon as I get that information, I would definitely be willing to share that with y'all.
I'm still stuck on the fact that his ass is still free.
Right.
And I just want to point. It's very funny that a similar situation happened somewhere in the United States, because it's all over Facebook, where a white guy did some of the same stuff, and the whole movement happened in front of their house. And
exactly.
It just and I say that just to show you how slow Savannah is, because situation like this, when you put it out there, why we didn't get in the uproar and make the thing happen like that happen? Because of that action of Black Voters Matter and all Black Lives Matter and all that stuff, that guy got arrested and he ended up going to jail.
And he was in the military. Remember, Jay? He was in the military, and he was pushing on that little black guy in his area.
And it's eerily similar to this piece right here.
Yes. Yeah. Todd, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not militant, but I am pro what's right. Okay.
Right. And guess what? We're not trying to take away. Y'all might wanna, and I think you guys are, but I'm saying if Jay Jones, Julius, or Charlie Brown, or Mr. Taylor, either one of us would have shook the kid, grabbed him, we would have been a lockup.
Yes.
I wouldn't be on the show tonight because I still be locked up.
You'll be making bond.
Exactly.
I'm trying to.
Todd, just for the sake of saking.
Yes, ma'am.
Just for the sake of saking. Mm-hmm. What's the guy's name? Tell me what the guy's name is.
Oh, no. You don't need to do that tonight. I mean, you can get with him off the air, okay?
I'm going to just say this.
You can get with him off the air.
By the end of tomorrow, because the only reason why the sergeant called you today is because they know that was wrong on every account.
No, the reason why he did that is because they don't want Columbia, South Carolina to happen in Savannah, Georgia. So they tried to mediate that situation real quick. That's why he got that phone call today.
They know that was wrong, but they gonna know it's wrong by the time, because see, when they see Chandra McKeithen's emails, they hate Chandra McKeithen. They really hate me.
There's nothing wrong, Todd, with calling his name. He's in the police report. He did what he did.
He did.
Because it was the truth and it was thing. But you can hold it if you want. But there's nothing wrong.
To be honest with you, I don't even know his name because we didn't even.
I would have found out his name. I would have found out his name, address.
I have the address. I know the address, but as far as his name, I don't have it. But his name.
You got the address?
His name is in the police report. Yes.
You got the address?
Yes.
Oh, you give me the address, I'll tell you his name.
John, I would have
Just
knew
text
his
it to me.
nickname
Just
by
text it to
now.
me, Todd. Just text it to me.
I would have knew his nickname by now, Todd. If his nickname was Bobo, I would have known it by now. I promise you.
Jamal had something to say.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead.
I'm going to tell you, there is a recent incident that happened with regard to someone, I won't say in New Jersey, where this man, Caucasian man, went and said and was braggadocious about what he could do and said and addressing these black folks. And then even the officers didn't do what they needed to do at that moment. And so then what he was so braggadocious about it that he put out his address. And so guess what happened? Black folks and other people showed up at his house. Showed up right there at the address, and then that forced them to not take some action, law enforcement. After that, otherwise than that, they were just brushing it. So that's why I'm like, that's
Y'all go ahead and slow traffic down on Duran and see what happened.
Okay.
And another thing with the officers that made me very uncomfortable with them as well, they flipped the roles. See, I was the one that was called. Let's get that straight for the first part. He never called on me. I called on him. Okay, number two, so that means that I was the victim and therefore he was the suspect. The way that they treated me and made me feel, they made me feel like I was the suspect and he was the victim. They didn't serve and protect me. They served and protected him.
See, and that's what you need to bring forward.
It's only one problem. The reason, and I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Only listen why.
Listen, soft and humane Hall.
Listen, the only reason. Listen, this one reason why they probably flipped that.
Why? Tell me why.
Was both officers white?
One was Hispanic and the other one was white. Yes.
It's crazy.
For both of them white. Go ahead.
Why? Tell me why.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you. Just all you got to do is listen. You know, and it's crazy that the city that's 57% black, all I see when I drive through Savannah is white officers. It's crazy. But on the same token, the same thing you're gonna find here in Fort Whitworth too. But on the same token, they treated it like that, and I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, is because Todd was at his house. He wasn't at Todd's house. Todd was
on his way.
No, hold on. No. You got to get some type of explanation as to why.
Oh yeah, because I'm across against
his house. You see, so it makes a little bit of difference. It does. So that's probably why they, you could have called the police from over here, and then we could have went over there and seen it. But he did the right thing by doing it, because a man gonna go and protect his child.
Boy, Julius, you already running for mayor early, man. Come on now, don't do that, man. Because if it would have happened at my Julius, I didn't see the situation where it would have happened at my house. They would have still made me the victim. So in this case, I hear what you and I hear what you're trying to say, Julius, and I'm not disagreeing with you. But in this case, it was strictly racial motivated because because the father started off with the racial motivation.
Being a police officer, you weigh these factors also from being one. I know whose house is it. You don't go to somebody else's house, is what they tell you. But now he was in the street. And he was clear he wasn't on that guy's property, and he called the police over there.
But so, Julius, I hear you. But Todd called the police. That's grounds for making sure Todd should been. Why would he call the police to be put in jail?
We understand that.
That needs to be brought. That needs to be part of that conversation. I hear you, dog. But that needs to be a part of that conversation.
It is. The person who called the police is usually the victim.
Exactly.
But And that's just a plausible explanation as to why they probably did that.
No, they bit that corner and saw Todd with his dreads hanging down past his shoulders. They saw his dark skin. They looked at him and they said, Todd. They didn't even look at his name. Todd. I mean, I would think white, but they didn't think They looked at his dreads and they saw threatening versus this white man. And they saw nothing else past that until, they didn't hear the 911 call with this man saying, I got weapons and I ain't afraid to use them.
And
Todd, when they pulled up, when the police pulled up, where were you standing? Were you standing in the same spot on the sidewalk?
No, sir. I moved out of the way because the person, the dispatcher told me to get away once he made that threat. So she said,
so you were on neutral ground when they showed up.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So you weren't on his property. You was on neutral ground when he showed up.
I was on neutral ground.
Once again, that takes it a whole nother level, Jules. I hear you if he was on his property, but he was on neutral grounds.
So Todd, you wasn't in his face.
No. The only thing I was saying, I want this guy, whoever he is, to be put in jail and persecuted or prosecuted or whatever. And I didn't want to blow the case open by saying he was discussing the case on airway right now before something happened. That was my concern. I don't care. His name can be Joe Blow or whoever, but I don't want to blow this because this guy should be in jail.
Yes, and then the sergeant did ask me this. The sergeant said, Mr. Rhodes, what is the outcome that you want out of this?
Arrest his ass. Arrest his ass.
Sandra.
Did you say that?
Sandra.
I said,
sorry.
First of all, hold him accountable. I said, hold him accountable for his actions. Because if it was somebody else, they definitely would have got held accountable. And I said, matter of fact, I not seen people and know people, they just had an argument. Just an argument. No violence, no nothing. Just an argument, argument. And it could have been a child just in the presence. The child didn't even have to be in their face. The child could have been in the room. And that person would actually get put in jail for cruelty to children and maybe a disorderly conduct. So
that's correct.
And then I told him this, and I said, now check this out. Then I say, if nothing be done about this, then it's gonna be another black male, because from my understanding, even the police said it too, that the grandfather said that he got a problem because she liked black boys. So check this out. So what happens when the next black boy goes to his yard? They might not be as fortunate as my son. He might actually hate them.
The next little boy might get shot just like that boy down in Brunswick. Doing nothing but jogging.
Julius, okay, we discussed that.
We're gonna move on to the next subject. Let us know what happened with that, Todd. We be watching it, and if we have to go and pick it in front of this guy's house, then that's what we're gonna do. If they don't,
let's block up the Ren. Let's stand in front of HVJ. HVJ.
Yeah, let's stand in front of HVJ all the way to the guy's house. If we block HVJ and throw some of them bricks from them tearing it down over there.
Todd, you get with Miss Sandra McKeithen when we go off the air. You guys talk.
I will say this. I don't really want to talk much about that guy because this is another thing they kept doing too. Stay from over here. Don't come over here. Don't do this. Don't do that. I'm like, look, I'm not coming over here. Why y'all keep making it seem like y'all waiting for me already?
Like you a stalker or something. Like you about to do something.
Yeah.
Huh? Like, you know what? They always try to villainize us. They try to make us seem like we're so aggressive. You know, we're just as humane as everybody else until if you do something to my damn child, I tell you what, do something to Chris. Do something to my child, and I'm going to show you who I am.
Todd, all I encourage you to do, and I know we got to go to the next subject, is write as much of this down as possible. That way, any story gets transmitted, make sure it's already documented as much as possible, as close to the story from beginning to end. So therefore, we have the narrative correctly written down. I think that's the only thing I would tell you to make sure we do right now today.
Yes, sir.
Todd, write it down, give it to me. I'm going to send it to Chief Minster and put my little spin on it and ask him why. I'm going to ask him
He said
why.
he gonna. So he gonna
I
get
doubt
and
if
give
Chief
you
Mentor
the
even knows the story.
information after we
I
get
doubt
off.
You don't know the story once I confront him with it. I can tell you that.
I'm just a messenger.
Yeah,
I
know.
doubt he knows that story.
I know.
I do have a question for Todd, though. So forgive me, Chandra. I do have a question for Todd. Did you hear or have you heard at anything at all from your mayor regarding this matter?
He did.
You so cute.
He did give me a call because I messaged him on Facebook and I asked him to give me a call regarding this matter.
Okay.
And he asked me what was going on, and I told him what was going on. And then I also let him know about the sergeant. When the sergeant gave me the call, so I let him know about that as well. So he told me to keep him posted and keep him updated on everything.
So
The mentor knows
yesterday or today?
Ma'am?
Did you hear from the mayor yesterday or today?
It was yesterday.
Okay. And so Chief Mentor was aware of this.
He knows then. If the mayor knows, he knows.
If the mayor knows, Chief Mentor knows. You can take that to the bank and draw interest.
Yeah. And that's the reason why that guy should have been arrested this morning.
And I did a live as well. I see Commissioner Adar. How you doing, bro? I seen him just post it on there as well. My live video is documentation as well.
Yes, it is. But I still need you to do a clear, updated version of that to make sure you're intimate with details.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Will do.
Mm-hmm.
You muted, Julius.
Todd, you about to be talking again, man.
We're moving on to the next subject. A field for all the citizens or just some privileged folk?
Todd, you got to change shirts.
Sally Move.
All right, I got you.
It's more than just Sally Move, but Sally Move is just because it's bigger. It's taking it's showing a lot because it's bigger.
It's a city and it's a county issue. It's a county issue. And it's just not just a city issue. It's a city and a county issue. See, when we was younger, think about it. I want y'all to think about it like this real quick. Back in the days when we wanted to watch movies, where we had to go? We had to go to Blockbuster Video, right? Now you don't go there no more. What we do? We got Netflix. We got Amazon Prime.
You ain't gotta leave your couch.
Right. And so what the point that I'm making here is this. We can't keep doing stuff the same way we were doing it when my granddaddy and my father was playing football for the city or the county league. You got to grow with time. And see, I believe unity. First of all, unity, because think about it. The same kids that we're serving in this community, they don't care. They stay in the city, whether they stay in the city of Savannah, guess what? They live in the county of what? A Chatham. So therefore, why are we separating them? And then if we learn how to work together with the city and the county, then guess what we can do? We can provide opportunity fields, gyms, as well as the school board. The school board do not let us use any of their facilities. But guess what? These are the same kids that you're educating. So what sense does it make? Because guess what? I go out of town quite frequently. I look at other people's recreations and see how the way they do things, right? And one thing that they do is driven by the community. Let's talk about Camden County, for instance. From their rec to their middle school to their high school program, that's why they're so strong, because guess what? The elementary school, the middle school is working with the elementary school. The middle school, the high school is working with the middle school. You see what I'm saying? So you have a community driven. That's why they have so much pride, and that's why they have so much working for them. But with us, when it comes to us, we have lack of facilities. We don't have the right things that we need. And it's sad because guess what? It's people like us. Think about it. When you have kids that go off to college, when they come back home to Savannah, it's put on the news. Hey, such and such is having this camp, and they throwing this camp, and they charging such and such. Or let's just say if it's free, but that's one day. We do this stuff every day.
Every single day.
Basketball, football, baseball, and track and field. And you mean to tell me that you can't show me not love, not one time, for me to be able to take these kids off the streets and put them on the field? Because guess what? It's not the parents. You know what my parents are doing? If they single parents, they working 2 jobs to try to provide for their families. 2 jobs. So guess what? That child, while he's being idle, I'm keeping him from being idle. Coach Jaha is keeping them from being idle. We were working with these kids to get them off the streets, and then guess what? Every time we got to keep running up the brick walls. Why?
Yeah.
I'm not
because
so the city, the county, and the school board don't work together.
Not at all.
It's all different. You're saying it's all different entities, all different. Say, I'm the city, I'm the county, and I'm the board of education.
Yes,
And we
No,
don't
no
work
linking
together.
factors. There's no linking
For
factors.
some reason, I think someone, I don't know exactly who, needs to sit down and talk to all 3 of the bodies and see if they can come together. Because it's the same kids you serving in the city and the county and the school board of education.
Charlie, you don't think they all talk to each other? I'm candidly speaking to you. You don't think they all talk to each other? You don't think the leaders of those 3 groups they talk to each other, Charlie?
But
they talk
what
to
they're
each other.
doing about just talking?
They talk.
Charlie. The problem is it's by design, Charlie. If we're Charlie, the reason why we didn't have crime as bad as we did back in the day is because guess what? We had use of the fields and everything like that. We didn't have a problem growing up in Savannah, Georgia. We didn't have a problem getting on the football field and everything like that. We didn't have a problem playing in the basketball gyms in the middle school or the high school because guess what? We had elected leaders who understood position. When I'm a school board, we need to take care of those kids, not just when 3 o'clock when the bell ring, but we take care of them kids to 8 o'clock when the kids' parents get home. We don't have that no more, Charlie. Nope. When it comes to the school system, y'all ain't got to say it. I'll say it. So I'll take the record. When it comes to the school system, it's about building schools. That's what it's all about. Board members about building schools. As many school projects as possible because it's dollars. Everything is about economics. When it comes to the county it's about just maintaining the status quo. When it comes to the city of Savannah, it's about economics in the downtown corridor. And that thing is, if you make it equitable for African American kids to be able to make it up the chain, then guess what? They compete with everybody else. And we don't want competition, Charlie. We need a workforce here. And we got to keep the workforce to keep those people economically stifled. So guess what? We can keep those hotels, beds changed, those restaurants filled, and everything else with underpaid wages. But it's all about economics. But until we want to tell these elected leaders the truth about life, then we ain't going nowhere. Now I'm going back to being mute because I'm sick and tired of us having the same dang discussion over and over and over again. If we want better, we got to get better representation. That's it.
And that is absolutely right. And I'm gonna tell you another thing too that I didn't bring up here. The churches too. I got a problem with the churches. Yes, I said it. I'm gonna say it again.
Amen.
The reason why I'm gonna say it again is because I see too many churches here in Savannah, Georgia, that has resources, that has the buildings, that has the space, that has the gyms, and guess what? They don't come not one time in the community that they serve and say, "Look here, come, bring your kids here." Bring your kids here. They can have a safe place. We can give them a hot meal. They can learn recreation, whatever. They don't do it. Another church I'm going to bring out that's in my community. If you ride by Southside Baptist Church, they have it in stone said Community Outreach Center. That's what it says. But guess what? No kid out of the community use that gym.
That's amazing, man. That's sad. It's a lot of different things. And just to put my butt in, it's we use the term racial or recreational segregation, and it's so true. It's so true, and it's like I don't receive tons of money doing what I do. I do it because I know how important it is to get kids off the street. I knew how important it was for me to have a community center. I grew up in Yamacraw. Every single day I could have went to the community center and before my mom got home from work. When I left Yamacraw, every community center shut down. I go around to these places, there's no community center. It's very few. I go in Yamacraw right now, the community center is run down, not fixed up. And then you wonder why it's shooting every night. And you wonder why, so it's real tough to witness it now. And when we have the resources where we can provide that recreational, that opportunity for these kids, it's real rough now to watch it.
Charlie Brown, what time you think libraries close, Charlie Brown? In Chatham County, what time you think libraries close in Chatham
I
County?
think they close 8 o'clock, don't they?
No, they just started closing at 8 o'clock. They were closing at 6 o'clock up until a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was 8 o'clock.
And we used to have we had enacted a long time ago. I don't know if y'all remember, but Jamal Torre, he probably remembered when we did that midnight basketball.
I remember that
program a long time ago. We had midnight basketball, you know, and this was during the time that all of the places that had community centers had active community centers, you know.
I think that's what Jay is getting at. It was the leaders we had at the time was implementing a lot of the programs, and we need to get back to the basics. We need to look at it, and we need to put these people in office besides just letting them sit in that seat and make them accountable. And we're not doing that.
And Todd, before you jump to defend those people, what we need to do, Charlie, is as a community, we need to give them a plan of action saying these y'all said this is the reason why this is happening. Well, this is the reason why we think they can fix some of these problems. What are you going to do? And we need to give letters, Chandra, we need to write letters to these people and say, hey, this is what we think that can help the community cut down crime. This is what can help cut down crime. We got to start having these private conversations, but I ain't going to talk about that till it's my time to talk. But we need to stop having these private conversations.
And
you're absolutely right.
Hold on.
We voted for SPLOS. That comes from our taxpayer money, right? Now, the city and the county receive SPLOS funding. So why would you make a monopoly out of the SPLOS funding and lock up stuff so the communities, which we are the community, can't even use it?
That's not right.
Todd, when you talk about SPLOS money, understand this. You know who votes on that SPLOS money?
Yes, sir.
You do. You do vote on that SPLOS money. And what we got to do is show those elected leaders when they vote on that SPLOS money, if you're not going to do right by us with those SPLOS projects, vote it down.
Yes,
bottom line. And put the right projects in there. I'm sorry. I saw Jamal's hand. I'm going to go mute. I'm going to be like a good beach hog and go mute.
I mean, and that's one of the things that we had shared with folks before with the recent conversation about SPLOS, that we are not interested in SPLOS. We're not interested in supporting SPLOS, E-SPLOS, T-SPLOS, any SPLOS, because we've seen where we have not gotten anything at all. And then elected officials, some of them go and say behind the doors, they say, we agree with you, but we can't do that because, again, as elected officials, we're supposed to do that. But then it goes to with regards to and I've shared with folks, this issue about recreation has been an issue that has been long going, and that no matter what folks go and say today, and I've now got to throw something out there, people tend to think that when I say something about some issues, like this is something that is new, that is the sexy subject matter, that's why I jump on the bandwagon too. I tell folks, hell no, because I will share with you all on the county side, I've had some issues with regards to recreation on the county side, since we had two former commissioners from the 5th district. And I've had conversations with them going back in time. So that means going back over 10 years about the issue with regard to the disparities on how they were doling out monies. Because when you live in the far western part of Chatham County, in the far eastern part of Chatham County, and in the southern part of Chatham County, they have no problem doing developments over there. They have no problem with regard to wanting to put up some marinas over there. And then now I'm going to throw it out and it's going to piss some people off. That's why some people try to come at me about some of this stuff right here and talk about what I talk about. I talk about human rights issues and marginalized people. If they happen to be black folks, then guess what, God dog it? There's going to be black issues I'm going to bring up. That we've had people now want to jump on the bandwagon about some recreational authority and other shit like that. That again, I'm going to tell you all that I discussed this when some other county commissioners, before some of y'all were even on there, wanted to put up some doggone marinas on the south side in Isle of Hope and all of that. And I'm letting you know, I am pissed off at that because, see, for myself, I sit back and say, guess what? I've been dealing with this type of bullcrap since 1991. So now, to your commissioners, and also your city council members who think that Jamal Touré is talking about something that's just coming up today, you better get out my face right now, because I'm gonna start calling your asses out. Because again, I'm letting you know right now, when people gonna tell y'all to stand up for us, and you don't stand up for us, don't become some intellectual carpetbagger on us, because that's what we got going on. Intellectual carpetbaggers. You think you're so goddamn smart, but no, all you doing, you looking out for your district. You ain't looking out for your district. Excuse me, yes you are, but you destroying the rest of the goddamn urban areas of Savannah and Chatham County. You ain't looking out for black things who are marginalized. So again, I'm throwing out there because people ain't gonna call no names out, and I respect that because we did some great things today. You ain't gotta call the names out, but I'm gonna say, you go to some elected officials, they tell you send them an email or they'll send an email. Don't send no goddamn email. Go ahead and address them about these issues here. I'm sitting here listening to this bull crap. I heard you with this stuff since I was a child. And now you come here and then you smarter than me. Get the hell out my face.
Right. And we got to continue. We got to be mad as hell. Do something about it.
Exactly.
Can't just talk about it. We need to fight till hell freezes over. When hell freezes over, we'll fight on the damn ice.
Todd Rhodes. Yes, Todd Rhodes. Yes, sir. We talking about them fields, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Who fought harder than anybody else for all the kids on them fields the last 4 years?
Man, I was
Jay Jones out of the six.
Yourself as well as Commissioner Holmes.
I never talked about the South Side, did I?
No, sir.
Never mentioned anything. I always fought for the kids because you know what? Todd Rhodes, all y'all, Charlie Brown, you know me long. Amir Touré, you know me. I always fight for kids. You know why I fight for kids? Because kids can't go to the ballot box and vote. Only their parents can. And their parents lackluster and they can't make it to polls. Somebody got to speak up for the kids. Todd Rhodes, when I was there, how often did y'all play on them fields, them new fields?
Oh, baby.
Why? Because every time you called me about them damn new fields and they said they ain't let y'all play on the fields, I showed up to them damn fields and I said, y'all better unlock them damn fields.
That's right.
I ain't had no problem doing that.
That's right.
I ain't had no problem doing that.
That's right. That's how elected officials supposed to be. That's right.
Never had a problem doing that. Never.
I can tell y'all this.
You did.
I can tell y'all this, that it is some revolutionary stuff happening when I got Jay Jones and Jamal Touré cussing. I know it's some shit. You know,
never.
One thing that I want to bring to everybody's attention is that we have a failure to lead here. These people are scared to lead. They want to do what the status quo is always.
Is that a topic of discussion?
You
didn't tell me that was a topic of discussion. I would have been prepared for that one.
Bold to make a difference. You want to make a difference. You can't care what nobody else say. You're making a difference for your community, and that's what you were put there for.
Man, but y'all
then you get in there and you start doing everything.
But you fight. But Julius, you asking people to fight economics. You asking people to fight economics, Julius, and Julius. When people get in office, when they get in office and they see Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin, and all them other jokers, Jamal, they get scared and they change their tune.
But we need new leaders.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta recognize that.
It seems
we already see it.
You know, people.
We understand it. But we gotta talk about it.
But people run for office on one platform, and then as soon as they get in office, you know, it seems like they get pulled aside into a meeting, and you know, by the person that runs Carver State Bank or whoever.
Woo! I gotta put myself on mute. Woo!
You know, they get pulled in. And that person tells them, listen, you have to play this game or you're not going to be in there long.
But Chandra, what we have to do is we have to develop a black agenda. And the black agenda will be a checkoff point. When we get these jokers in office and they don't follow that black agenda, then we vote they black behinds. I didn't say the word. I need to vote they black behinds on out. It's simple.
But Jay Jones,
I'm listening.
Remember when me and Julius Hall, before I moved from there, Dr. Touré, you remember when we were all meeting over at the Buccaneers Club in the back, And we were trying to develop that Black agenda. And nobody wanted to really, we wanted to do it, but nobody wanted to really do it. And then there was Linda, Linda that's in office now, that said, oh no, I'm not going to buy into a Black agenda, you know. So we already knew that she wasn't on board.
You can't be bought. You can't buy in when you already bought. Come on now, let's talk. Come on, y'all want to tell the truth, man? Come on, Sean, to get to the point.
But then there was the moles that was just coming in to kind of see what the hell we were talking about.
Chandra, moles don't come from underground. Come on, get to the point. Yeah. Come on, Chandra.
Never got put to paper, and here we are 2 years into the damn administration, and we're still not holding anybody accountable.
But that's okay. That's okay. But it's coming around in less than 24 months. It's coming around. And off the east side, I ain't got to call no name. Off the east side, they knew who they are.
Charlie, we got to stop. We got to stop playing. Charlie, we got to stop playing the game of we get him in office and then, oh well, we'll wait 24 months. Oh well, we'll wait 28 months. Yes, you can do something about. Yes, you can. You can raise holy. You know what about it? Every single day.
But I'm saying, in 24 months, we get to go to the polls.
Julius loving this. I'm gonna be quiet the rest of the show. I'm gonna be quiet the rest of the show. Julius loving this too much. I'm gonna be quiet the rest of the show.
This is how we became. This is the same damn way we became disenfranchised ever since Mayor fucking Adams. And I'm gonna put my damn self on mute.
Wow.
See, the problem, and I see people in here talking about we should call out names. Why the heck do I got to call out any names? The city council meetings are public. The county commission meetings are public. Why it's the same it's the same 15 people are watching the same old meetings, calling the stuff out. If you want to see it, you ain't got to call names. Just click on the thing and look at the meetings for yourself. All these meetings are public. They ain't even hiding it no more. It's all public.
Look at what hadn't happened in the first district. Look at what hadn't happened in the second district. Look at what hadn't happened in the fifth district. Look at what hadn't happened with the children. As far as because they promised that they was going to focus on the youth.
Chandra, since nobody want to call out names, I help you out, Julius. Since I'm the only person on this call looking around that voted on the last splash. I'm the only person that voted on the last splash that came in 2019 on this call. When that splash report hit my paper, I looked at it. I said, what? And I looked at the amount of money in each district in Savannah got. Now, why am I going to be the one who and I know everybody on that platform got the same report I got. The first district got the least amount of money with about $100,000. The fifth district got right at about $500,000. And my district probably got between $2 to $13 million.
What?
And Charlie, all this is public information.
I know.
It's public. The newspaper ran it. The current mayor stated that, man, it's an atrocity what happened to my area getting it. But we didn't do nothing to see why he didn't fight harder. I'm done. I can't even talk about my subject now. I'm so hot right now. I'm so hot right now. Y'all act like y'all don't see this going on.
Lola, it's okay. It's okay.
Hold on, son.
My dog is fine.
Brother Rhodes, Brother Taylor, are y'all getting this issue resolved at the park so that you all can have some equal
on the playing field?
Well, we doing some behind the scene things, but I'm gonna tell you this right here. We document everything, and we had some people that we met with and we talked with, and they honored and they listened to what we said, and they also stated. And this was with the county. I'm just gonna say this. This was with the county. What we still need to get to the school board, and we need to get with the city of Savannah, as well as the churches, some churches here in our communities.
Todd, what I told you happened? Did it happen?
Sir?
Remember what we had talked about? How did it happen? Did it happen exactly how I told you, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let me, I just want to say this. Yeah, I hope the issue get resolved. I believe that me and Mr. Todd had some great ideas and suggestions. And as I'm listening, there's a lot of power out there that it doesn't take that long. So I mean, am I satisfied that we had that? No, because I'm pretty sure it happened before. I'm pretty sure somebody complained before. And what I heard in our little segment, I don't hear correcting. I hear satisfying, and I don't want to be I want it to be corrected.
Yes,
that's correct. That's correct.
I appreciate that, Mr. Taylor. That means a lot. That means a lot, brother.
That is absolutely correct. Is it true that somebody has the field locked down for the whole year?
They will say that they don't, but they don't know how I get my information. And like I said, they told me they under contract per 2 years. I tell them if I was on contract per 2 years, every 1 year, I'm gonna book 2 years. I was like, come on, like
Brother Taylor,
yes.
If they're on contract every 2 years, and I seen that contract was for the Jennifer Ross complex, not the new field. And what they did was they shifted it in mid-contract over to that new field.
Oh, I told them.
I'm not gonna let them have that brat because Todd, you better tell them I stayed on top of that every single week. Every single week.
I mentioned this today. If you go right now, go on Savannah United website. Go on their website. They claim those fields, those 3 turf fields.
Because it's their fields.
They claim it. Oh, we were told
that's not right.
Fields. We were just told that it's not their
That's
fields.
not right. That's not right. And we need to call the leadership on that because
we call leadership.
Let us be clear about something. That's on their website. We know that's not correct. You can put whatever you want on your website. That's your marketing. So we ain't got to sweat that. We know what the real, that's again, what I'm going to say. We know what the real deal is. You're not in a position of power. Now, let me go and throw it out there. What prompted all this to come about? It was that the fact that we did a video, that's what prompted it. The meeting that was held, that was based on that from that video that was done. Yeah. And then so that's why now they're in a position now where they now got some power. We ain't even got to sweat it. That right there, that's that Savannah United email thing. On their website, you ain't got to sweat that. Because now those brothers are not in the driver's seat. And that's based on, and I'll throw this out there to you, Jaha. What the deal was, it was because some of us did not listen to elected officials and was about not going forward to make this. That it took some other elected officials now to step in there and say, okay, check it out. And when Todd called in last week on the text in last week or whatever, that's why we put it out to the Chester to say, Chester, what needs to happen? Okay,
right.
what that, and then
I can't say it no better.
What that's it. And so then we did the video. So now they understood that there were people that were watching them that prompted that action right there.
Can't say it no better.
That's why. And so now they're in a position. Savannah United ain't in no position no more, and that was their marketing. So we don't even sweat that. But now you go forward with regards to those other entities.
But this is the problem with the things. They don't have the right people in working in recreation. And I'm telling you that right now, because one thing about it, they need to be students first. Students, and what a student does, learn everything. Matter of fact, none of them are involved with us. I'm a coach. It ain't nobody that comes from the city or the county that comes out there and just sits with us and say, let me see what these guys doing out here. Let me bring them some bottled waters out here. Let me see what they need. Nobody. So therefore, guess what? A lot of them, I'm going to be honest, they just getting a check and all they waiting for is retirement, easy retirement, so they can clock out. No, I'll do it for free. Let me run the Chatham County.
He telling the truth. Amir, he's telling the absolute truth. He is telling the absolute truth, Amir.
And it's right.
I'm just saying, Todd, I done been there where I had to have the meetings with them jokers, and what Todd is saying is the absolute truth. I done been there. I'm telling you, it's the absolute truth.
I went there yesterday. I paid my fees last week. I have 4 teams that's participating in the county this year for football. 6U, 8U, 10U, and 12U. I paid them that check last week. I went there yesterday to ask them what all other teams paid. Who all in the league? Don't you know they couldn't give me an answer? They said they don't know.
But tell them there's other coaches. Tell them there's other coaches that look to get into the county.
And guess what? It's being done on purpose. It's being done on purpose. Want to know why? Because guess what? We don't want to have football out here. We want lacrosse. We want soccer. That's what we want. That's what the problem is.
Listen. So again, I do a different type of homework. I've asked the question because Todd told me they bracket size football from July to maybe September, October. I asked the question, well, how long is soccer season? They should have a 3-month window too. But nobody has that answer. Soccer, I mean, if you go on some websites that's out there, it's year round.
Not when you got a 2-year contract over the field. You do soccer when you want to do it.
Well, I'm sure you got one county commissioner on here, and he's commenting quite regularly. And I'm sure that he'll be on top of that because he's an advocate for the youth. And Gator Rivers is an advocate for recreation in the youth. So you got 2 right there, and they need to be putting the pressure on their chairman to do what needs to be done. It is leadership at all levels that needs to show us in the community why we put you there. And if y'all not going to lead, then get the hell out the way.
What? Let me ask you that.
Kind of person ever.
Now, to be fair, to throw something out there, let y'all understand. The meeting that occurred was based in part tied to the chairman. That's what I might say. We can be critical about some stuff. Yes, I might say, let's be clear. So the chairman then prompted that, and I was going to say, and just to be fair, and prompted by Reverend Leonard Small. So that's why I'm just throwing it out there. So
that's what it's about.
I agree.
Fair about the historical record.
Let me ask this question.
So that's what happened. It wasn't based on other people. That's why I'm saying again, it was based on somebody being pissed off. There's some other people saying we talked about this for years. Then that caused somebody else in the hearing, and so that's what then caused all and came back. And that's why I said on the Rabble when Todd sent in that text, and then we called it out to the chairman. How can we get in touch with you? That's when stuff began to occur. But that video caused that stuff to happen. So it wasn't based on other people. That's why I'm like, nobody gonna jump claim right now, because y'all know Jamal. Jamal ain't gonna let nobody jump claim and act like no. That's a part of the issue right here. I would not have had to do that doggone video if people had gone and taken the action like Jay Jones had done. Then we would have been consistently taught. We would not have to worry about none of this. That's what pissed us off, because now Sam Carter had told me about this some 90 days ago. We've been talking about this stuff. Not me and Yusuf Shabazz discussed this almost a decade ago. So I'm like saying, stop. So we got people in office right now, the same ones that you touting. I'm like saying, hell, people were told certain things that when I got the information, I'm like, what? I know better than that. And that's on the city end and the county end. So it just ain't exclusive. And I can't say nothing about the school board, but I know in the city and the county end because I'm listening to conversations that people got me right there and asked me a question, say, Jamal, do that have to go before everybody, all those elected officials? I said, no, one elected official can go and address that issue. But that ain't happened like that. So if y'all want to get nasty about it, just be real.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Okay.
Can these entities come together? You know, because it seems like there's some discrimination going on.
That means that they would have to work if they come together. They're not there to work.
No,
they're just to vote.
Chandra, you keep Chandra, you thinking with logic. Come on. You thinking with logic, Chandra. I'm not trying to be funny, but you're trying to be logical about it, man. It don't work like that.
No, what I'm saying is if all of the football teams came together and filed a lawsuit against the county for discrimination.
Because that's what's happening.
Because this is discriminatory practices. is what they've been doing for the last few years.
But may I say something on this though?
Go ahead.
The thing that, and I've been very quiet on this, and I don't mind saying, I am 55 years old, and I have seen all of what has been expressed. I have seen how strongly PALs made a difference in this city, and I've seen its demise. I've seen how, and I'm gonna call names, I have seen how Coach Etheridge and Coach Hardy and how so many others that I grew with, because I'm gonna say it, I'm a graduate of Windsor Forest High School. I helped to integrate Windsor Forest High School. I have seen where the bones were buried, okay? And I have seen that people were angry because of what the school system did to them. And when they were able to get into positions of power, they retaliated for years, not just a minute, for years, okay? So I agree with the statement of all of the teams need to come together, yada, 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 blah, 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 kumbaya. However, to borrow a phrase from Reverend Little Smalls, you got too many people for too many years toting other people water. When you get just to the finish line of getting to the point where you're going to make progress, somebody who looked like me come over and says, brother, come on over here. Because here's a financial opportunity. I mean, here's an opportunity over here.
You said it right.
And what happens? They go over there and they pad their reputation. They pad their pockets. They move to another community. They do all of these things. They have no business or no intention of helping their community. Oh, Jay, no. Because I told people, you know, hey, this is the truth. I tell people all the time, I don't have a hidden agenda. I love the city. I love my community. I'm serious about the advancement of our people and our young children. I don't care if you're black, white, or a bag of Skittles. But you got to get it right.
Right.
And we have too many people in positions that they have been in since Jesus walked. And they do what they want to do. And when other people say something, unfortunately, when they walk, it's sad when you walking side by side to somebody and then all of a sudden that person get their spine snatched out and handed to them.
Yes.
And then you find out you by yourself.
The two people leading the way right now, y'all look down right now, the whole recreational thing that's going on, the two people leading the way right now, y'all looking at one Coach Jaha Taylor and Coach Todd Rhodes. Those are the two people right now that you ain't even got to go outside. They are the ones who got the vision, and now the leadership here are now looking at them as being the leader. So I'm letting y'all know, I'm saying they are the ones right now that anyone need to go to, and that's what people now realize.
I agree with you on that.
Listen, y'all, I came up with an idea like this because, like I say, I love it. That's my passion. I want it to grow. I want Savannah to be on the map. Think about it like this. How many kids that we see for football that in a recent couple of years that got signed with D1 scholarships? A lot.
Tons.
But guess where they come from? Guess where they come from? They come from organizations, youth organizations, like Savannah Stars, like Westside Wolfer, like, a lot of
Royal Lions.
And they don't go to none of the high schools any of us represent.
2017 training, 2017 training.
But you know the truth of the matter is, though, when programs, and y'all know good and well what I'm about to say, you can take it to the bank and draw interest. Any program in history in this city of Savannah that has done well in helping our children to grow, become solid young men and women,
they knock it out.
They terminate the program.
They
find a problem with it. They yank the rug out from under it. They put molds in there. The money mysteriously gets misappropriated. And it's gone.
Sometimes, Miss Gwen, sometimes it's them programs in these schools they don't even have money and they still get yanked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So you're looking at the new leaders right there in Savannah. These guys are the new face of athletic for our young people. They are concerned. They remind me of the the guys at the Boys Club, James Home, Joe Murray
Yeah.
Rivers, Roach over in Soldier Field. That's what it reminds me of, these guys right here. And they need help, and we have to figure out how we can communicate and help these guys. And we can do a lot of talking, but that's the key. That's what we need to do.
Yeah. But
It's time for action. It's enough
Yes.
talking. It's a time that we have had. I told people in the past, we have met. I'm sorry, the glasses coming off now. We have met, we have talked, we have met, we have committed, we have done that so much we can wrap the Talmadge Bridge 5 times and then some.
Mhm.
It's time for action.
it's time for action.
Enough for all of this committee. If you're gonna do something, okay, come on up with an
Right.
action
We
plan
need-
and implement it.
We do need
Action plan, implement.
You right, but you still have to have a plan to go
That's
ahead
what I
and
said.
act on.
Action
I
plan.
feel like y'all
That's all I'm
implement.
saying. You must still have a plan.
That what she said.
I feel like y'all need to file a lawsuit against the county for one thing. That should be one of the things in the plan. But
Okay.
What's next, Jill?
We since these gentlemen are working on it, I want y'all to come back and let us know. Y'all got Dr. Torrey, y'all got my number, y'all got Jay Jones. Oh, y'all can come back on the show at any time and tell us what the deal is. We're gonna have y'all back on because, like they said, y'all are the new leaders, and we need to be making sure that we help to form the political processing that y'all got to go through, so y'all can know where to step in at. Jay Jones and Dr. Torrey, if y'all around them two guys, especially, they'll give y'all the necessary bread and water that y'all need.
invite me to a meeting.
Hey, Todd, what? Hey, John,
I want you on my side. I tell you that.
ain't nothing but a thing, bro.
Invite me to a meeting. I can come virtually.
Okay.
So, Brother Todd and Brother Jaha, we appreciate y'all coming. We fit to get into some meat, and I don't know whether y'all need to be in it, but y'all need to listen because this is what some things about to be straightened, I think. So, if y'all want to stay, y'all welcome. But if y'all ready to go, y'all can go.
Well, they stayed for hours, so I'm gonna stay for theirs.
Okay. Well, let's get to it because we got Miss Thornton.
Yes, sir.
She's gonna address the chairman Ellis's attack on her work in the community last week, and then we'll get to Mr. Jones, and we promise people we're not going nowhere till both of them finish.
All right. Well, as Julius has said, last week on the Rabble, Commissioner Chester Ellis was their guest, and the topic was dealing with the weeping time. And I simply asked the question, and I do timestamps. Okay, I asked the question when it was like 1:17:36. I asked the chairman, quote, why he told Commissioner Adams not to say anything about the weeping time. Stop it, Jay. And asked him why he told Commissioner Adams not to say anything about the weeping time. And as you all saw, Commissioner Chair, County Commission Ellis went from 0 to 1,000 in a second. Well, he said that he didn't tell him that. Well, that puts me in the realm of, okay, so why did Commissioner Adams tell me that? That he was told he couldn't say anything. So why I'm here tonight is to address the slander to my name and the accusation that I am not leading my community because I need to sweep around my own front door and not sweep around Carver Village's door. First of all, y'all, the question had nothing to do with Carver Village. The question had to do with the topic of the program last week And so my question was, why did he tell the commissioner for this district, the elected official for this district, not to say anything on a matter that is going to directly impact this district? And he got upset. But then he proceeded to say that I was not a proper leader. I was not doing what I was supposed to do, that he worked hand in hand with the late Curtis Victor Cooper Jr., who was our president. Now, let me say this. I will not speak to what was said or what was not said between he and Curtis Cooper, because Curtis is not here to defend himself. I will say this, though. I was the secretary for years. I was the vice president under Victor. Okay? And we spoke of several things that he hoped to see for this community. Okay? Now, speaking to me, and I'm not going to be long. As far as Malinda Gwen Thornton, who was elected by the community of Cloverdale to be the president of the Cloverdale Civic Improvement Association / Cloverdale Neighborhood Association or organization. I have fed my neighbors. I go over to the field over on Rosenau Hill and I pick vegetables and I make sure my neighbors have what they need. I do drive-thrus every day. We have an Airbnb over here. We're dealing with that. And my neighbors know they can call me night or day and I will address the issue. But I will not, and I'm not going to ever function as a dictator. If a decision is going to be made, the community is going to get together and discuss it. And then we will make a decision. Okay? But Victor, I call him Victor, but Curtis Cooper Jr. loved this community. He worked with this community. He worked hard with this community. I love this community. I work hard with this community. Born and raised in this community. Okay? I can't dictate what's going over in Carver Village. I don't live in Carver's Village. I wouldn't have the audacity to do such. However, I truly resent the slander that I am not a good president. Now, I'm not tooting my own horn. What I can say is I make sure my neighbors are not hungry.
You do that. I can agree with that because you come to all the food drives and pick up food. I help load it in your truck to take to all your residents out there, the elderly residents. So you are awesome.
Thank you. I pick up the trash. I go all along. And Alderwoman Keisha Gibson Carter can attest to that. My son and I, we have gone up and down. This past 4th of July, we are still having to try to get the city to be consistent in cutting the medians for Cloverdale entrance and Bel Air's entrance, okay? But because we didn't want it looking a ragged mess, my husband and I went up to the entrance of the community and cut the entrance, the front of the entrance. We put up 4th of July decorations, okay? Nobody asked us to do that. We wanted to show our love for the community and our spirit, okay? That's what we do. That's what you do. You check on your neighbors. When they need to know that they can call you. My neighbors out here can tell you. They know they can call me when there's an issue, any correspondence. We send the emails out. But they also know I don't have a problem listening. If there's an issue, let me know. If I'm doing something wrong, let me know. I can take correction. But I will not allow anyone, I don't care who you are, I don't care how old you are, I will not let anyone disrespect me publicly or privately. And someone asked me, well, what do you want out of this? I want a public apology. And that's it. If I left out anything, I'm fine. If you have questions, I'll be more than happy to tell you. Anybody wants to get in touch with me, Malinda Gwen. I live in Cloverdale. My email, melindagwen@gmail.com. I have no problem because I have no hidden agendas, folks, and I have nothing to hide. I love my community.
I got one question for you.
Yes.
When Commissioner Adams told you that the chairman Ellis told him not to get involved or to say anything, did you tell him that Chairman Ellis is not his boss? That the people are?
I told him that the constituents in your neighborhood and your district voted for you. Now, I had to be honest and say that your constituents voted, because I didn't vote for him. I'm just be honest. I didn't vote for him. But he is our commissioner, and I will do what I need to do to help support him in order to support our community. But I can't help you if you don't know nothing, if you don't say nothing. You've got to take a position. And by not taking a position, you've taken a position. Now, I'm not on here to bash Kenny at all. I want to help him. I want to help him to be the best commissioner he can be. So that he can help the 8th district be the best district it can be. However, as far as the attacks that were showered upon me last week and making sure that the shoe fit, I just wanted to be clear. I don't have any personal animosity to Chairman Ellis, but I am asking, since I was attacked publicly, I'm gonna need a public apology.
Okay, yeah. So, and like you said, we're not here to attack Kenny. We all love Kenny. Kenny's a great guy. We just but we will question everybody's leadership. And if it's leadership, that has nothing to do with our friendship. Leadership and friendship has nothing to do with each other. We're going to call it like it is. Relationship, leadership, friendship. You're a leader, you're supposed to lead. Nobody else has put you there. The commissioner.
Would you accept it if he come on our show and make an apology?
Say again?
I said, would you accept if he come on the Rabble and make an apology? Would you accept that?
I wouldn't mind if he came on the Rabble, WSCV, TOC, JCL. It doesn't matter as long as he makes a public apology. And some people would say, well, that's petty. No, because the reality is people should not bully people. People should not be allowed to harass and bully people. And when you know that is a character flaw that people overlook time and time again and say, well, that's just his way, that's unacceptable to me, because no one should be bullied. No one should be humiliated. No one should be harassed. No one should be harangued. No one should be harangued like that, especially when it's unwarranted, uncalled for, and unprofessional.
Okay, so we got that on record. You want a public apology from the commission chair, so we'll be reaching out to him. He heard it. I'm sure he's watching, and so he'll tell us whether he wants to issue that apology in some form, or whether it's in a phone call.
No, it's not some form. No.
It needs to be public.
I was quite clear, Julius.
It needs to be in the same form it was given.
I did not stutter. I was clear. I did not pontificate. I want a public apology.
Tell your cousin
on the Rabble.
Tell your cousin.
Now, let me be clear. And hold on, Chandra. And see, the reason again, Jay knows me. Every moment is a teaching moment.
Exactly.
And I'm an advocate till I leave this earth. And I will not allow anyone, and I said it a second ago, I don't care what your age is, I am not going to allow anyone to intimidate or bully anyone, especially when the response was a deflection from answering the question, which we all know. Now, let me put this question to those who were here last week. Okay, I don't see Jamal anymore. Did I, in any way, shape, or form, attack the commission? the chairman.
Not
Mr.
to
Brown.
not
Mr.
to my
Brown.
knowledge. You did
Did you
confront him
hear
with some
me?
question.
Did I disrespect him or attack him in any way, shape, or form? Julia?
No, ma'am. Not that I see. Not that I saw. I guess he was reading the comments, and in your comments, he must have saw something that triggered some emotion. And
Were any of my comments disrespectful at all? Were they disrespectful in any way, shape, or form?
no, ma'am.
So,
Not to my knowledge.
So what you're saying, Julius, is that he got in his feelings and he just came out like a female cat. Scratch.
Did you say that? Or did you hear Malinda say it? What you trying to say now?
I'm just saying, if you're saying that she didn't do anything to him and he just came out attacking, you know, he was just acting like a biatch.
I haven't said Jamal not able to be seen. He had to run till that.
I just want it clear for the record that I just want it clear for the record that I do need to say this, and I do want to thank Dr. Touré for telling the commissioner that was not what he needed to do and that was not where he needed to go. I appreciate him for that because it was inappropriate, it was unprofessional, it was uncalled for. If he did not want to answer the question, all he needed to say was, I choose not to answer that question.
Or no comment, right?
Or no comment. However, what happened was allowed to happen, and I am asking for a public apology, and that will end that.
Okay. Anybody that want to see that show, they have it for our music. It was something wrong with the music. They say that's why we barely played the music today. They blocked it for the music, but you can catch that on ATR Black Media Network on YouTube. ATR Black Media Network on YouTube.
And I want to
know this though. Hold on, Jay. Hold on. But I want you all to know, Cloverdale is rising. Cloverdale is Cloverdale strong. We are looking out for our neighbors. We are taking care of them. Cloverdale is a historic neighborhood. We have just come of age, and we are in the process of getting the information for that. We were not of age at the time that the commissioner chair referred to. That was not the focus at that time for Cloverdale. But Cloverdale is doing what Cloverdale needs to do for the betterment of Cloverdale.
All right. And in case this show is blocked on Facebook, you can catch it on YouTube. You can catch all our shows on YouTube for the last year on YouTube, ATR Black Media Network. Just go to it. We don't block shows or we don't block anything from people saying anything. It's the network, it's the platform that blocks it.
The rumor out there, Julius, is because it was your cousin, you made sure the show didn't get posted on Facebook. I'm just telling you what the rumor came back to me. But I believe you, my brother. I believe you. The Facebook blocked it. I'm with you, brother. But rumor came back to me that you made sure you looked out for Chester. You took the show off the air. I'm just telling you what came back to me, brother.
And I'm going to tell y'all something else. Usually, Julius reminds me about the show 20 times before the show comes on. And last week, I was so involved in, because I've been doing extensions. This is our busy time at NASA. We're doing extensions of contracts and stuff for the federal government. So I missed the show. But he didn't even send me a reminder. He didn't even call me like, Chandra, get on the show. He didn't say nothing.
Watch the show and you'll see that Charlie and I was wondering where you were.
No, you didn't wonder. You didn't wonder hard enough. You didn't even send me a text.
And the other thing I wanted to point out.
I'll be perfect honest with you, Sandra. Julius threw him a lot of softballs, no hard balls at all.
I know.
Julius just, I didn't know Julius' mouth went into the freezer. It went into the freezer. I had to ask all the questions. The little bit of question I did ask.
Charlie Brown, you're not telling me he threw softballs.
Really?
Well, yes, he
Not
did
not Mr. Hall.
Really?
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. It wasn't softball. Volleyball.
Probably table tennis. He was probably
Oh
table tennis.
man.
And he was so glad that I wasn't on there. His butt cheeks was clapping. You know what? It's okay though, Jew. I'm gonna get you back though.
Ooh,
It's
y'all
okay.
hard.
It's okay. It's okay though.
I tell you what. If you doubt me, look at the show. Go to what's the name of the thing? YouTube, and look it up, and you'll see Julius hardly ask him no question.
Because you were doing all the talking.
Oh no!
I
Don't
was
put
laughing
that
at
on
Jay
me.
Jones' comments.
No.
Jay Jones kept saying, "Send me the link. Send me the link." I said, "Hell no, y'all ain't finna fight on this show."
I'm glad you said that because everybody here talking about give Chester a chance to defend himself. I was trying to defend myself last week.
Y'all can get on there together, and guess what?
Y'all ain't ready for that.
Guess what? It's your turn.
You don't want Jay and the chairman on together, just like you don't want me and Al Scott on together.
Now, I think you need to just stay away from Al. He is history. He is in retirement.
Al is chilling on the islands now.
Yeah, he retired.
And his Grecian formula.
Jay, we saw that you had 2 real videos this week, and they went viral. And I mean, they went viral. Everybody was sharing it. Everybody want to know what was into Commissioner Jay Jones. And we want to know and give you the flow to explain. You got 19 minutes to do whatever you want.
Hold on. The rundown I got was to make sure I talked about those things from last week, first off. So I'm gonna try to do a quick highlight on those things from last week.
What you want.
Since somebody said something, I'm gonna do like it was said last week and not give names about comments. But somebody said that, hey, this is your time to talk about those comments and issues the chairman spoke of. What are they? Number 1, in executive session in 2018, I believe. In executive session, we can talk about it now because it's been voted on. And once you vote on something, you can discuss what happened in executive session as long as you're not dealing with litigation. And for the record, like I stated last week, and I will say it live and in living color, the vote as far as the chairman is concerned, meeting 1, we had a conversation in reference to who can be the chairman for Chatham Area Transit. Al Scott stated that if any of y'all run for the chairman of Chatham Area Transit, he would make sure he took you off the cat board. He would make sure you took you off the cat board. The very next meeting, 2 weeks later, before we even started discussing it, the one thing that was stated clear and was precise and true, the one thing that was stated, the chairman stated, the current chairman stated, I do not want to go back on the cat board. Leave me out the discussion. Now, the chairman also stated in the last conversation last week, 2 weeks ago, that he is a proud card-carrying Democrat. Now, let's break this thing down. There were 6 Democrats and 3 Republicans on that board in 2018. Now let's talk strategy, Julius Hall. Let's talk strategy. If you come off a board and you know.
Did he freeze?
He froze.
Damn it.
Let's see what he's going to pop back on.
Well,
it's just getting good.
Well, Julius, the fixer in, we planned this. We don't want him to talk too much about your cousin, the chairman.
Yeah,
So
I think
this
that
whole
Julius
thing was
just damn
by
deleted
design.
his ass. You know what, Julius? You all that.
They gonna blame me. They gonna blame me. They gonna blame me.
The whole thing was by design. Me and Julie
Yeah.
talk about this. They said, if Jay get out of hand, we have to mute because we got to save Julia's cousin,
Todd,
Chester.
this how they do. This how they do. You know, anytime they start talking about Julius' family, that's how they do.
Jay's spinning now. He buffering, so he might be coming back in. He gonna find his way back in.
Well, we don't have Miss Thornton. Would you like to comment? I'm just kidding.
That's why I don't say nothing these days.
Like the old lady said, Chandra, I had my say. I'm waiting for my apology.
Well, you waiting for your apology just like them folks waiting for their money that
Oh no, trust and believe. I'm gonna get my apology.
Well,
because see, folks were saying to me, Malinda, he is your elder. That's just the way he is. Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And so my thing, as I said 2 times already, I don't care who you are or what age you are. You never have license to disrespect or slander anyone. Right. I don't care if you 1 or 1,000. I'm going to advocate if it's done to me or someone else, because that's just not cool.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing that. Jill, I think the problem is the storm outside. It's getting pretty bad. It could be the wind could knock down the line or something like that.
Is the weather bad over there?
Huh?
The weather bad over there?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm back, y'all. Check. I saw somebody running, and they were running back to Carver Village, and guess what? I threw a rock at them because they knew I was getting ready to bring the thunder. Elsa ain't got nothing on me. Now back to my story, and I'm gonna reclaim my time. My 4 minutes I lost because of Elsa. Now I'm gonna say it just like this, and I'm gonna say it clear. I'm gonna reclaim my time.
Go ahead. Reclaim time.
So when we were in executive session, in the second meeting of executive session, we started having the conversation about the chairman. Now, if the chairman is a good Democrat, Julius, if you know you're going to resign from something and you know that you got people who are looking for opportunities, are you going to resign without having a conversation with somebody else to go in that position? No, that conversation didn't happen. And what ended up happening is the chairman came off the cat board, like I stated, and allowed Helen Stone to raise her hand. Oh, I'll go on the cat board. Now you already know if she get back on the cat board, it's business as usual. Because you already know what her agenda is. So if you're a good Democrat, now we're going to talk Democrat-Republican politics since it was talked about last week. If you're a good Democrat, you will protect the seat. And as a good Democrat, he did not protect the seat. You call it for what it is. If you see a donkey, you call it a donkey. If you see an ass, you call it an ass. You call it for what it is. And so guess what? What he did, he had the opportunity. He could have said, James Holmes, could you go on there and sit on the board for the rest of the year? He could have said, Bobby Lockett, could you go on the board and sit there for a year? He didn't do that. And Bobby Lockett wanted to be on the cat board, and he didn't step up, and he allowed Helen Stone to get on there. What I'm calling out is factual information. This happened on the county commission. And so when we talk about the issues that relate to Chatham Area Transit, and it was also stated about Chatham Area Transit, I didn't have to watch the videos, Julius. You know why? I'm on the dang videos, Julius. I'm on every last one of them videos except for the one in November. And I was excused for one in November because I had a prior engagement. And when we talk about these situations, when we talk about the issues, when we talk about what's going on with Chatham Area Transit, and you say she was the only one protecting the money, and then he also stated that $800,000 was in the bank when he left in 2018, all that's correct. But he wasn't the only one on the board calling all the information out. But like I stated earlier, Chandra, guess what I stated earlier? All this stuff is public record. All of it is public record. The problem with us is we sit back and wait for the politicians to come and give the information instead of going out there and finding out the truth for yourself. So someone had asked me about somebody asked me about what I had to say. That's what I had to say. Because the simple fact is, if we're going to be good Democrats, as far as being good Democrats, we play strategy and we communicate with each other. And the last point that was discussed last week, and I apologize, I'll go back to being normal Jay tomorrow. But today I'm going to be butthole Jay today. And I will say this last point that was also discussed. We need to have private conversations because of the Willie Lynch syndrome. Understand, before you even talk about the Willie Lynch syndrome, understand the first problem to the Willie Lynch syndrome is this. It's up and down, right or left. It's black or white. It's young and old. It's all kind of difference. And that's what Willie Lynch was all about. And when we talk about having private conversations, me and the chairman had a private sit-down conversation. And it was set up, and y'all may not like who set it up, but it was set up by Estella and Yusef Shabazz. Yusef and Estella were the only two people who said, Jay, you and Chester need to sit down and bury your differences. And I told them, I don't have no difference with Chester. And when we had a private conversation, like we said, when me and him had that private conversation, I stated for the record what came back to me. And Julius, you know this because it came to you. And Charlie, you know some of this because it came to you. And Malinda, you know some of this because it came to you. The conversation out there in the atmosphere when me and Chester were running against each other was this. It was James was going out there finding people to run against people. And as my job as the chairman of the county of Chatham County Democratic Committee, it's my job to open up the doors and help people get elected. It's not my job to say, oh, well, I got so-and-so running there, so you can't run against that. That's not my job. The reason what we have the problems in our community is because we filtered and we picked and chose before election time who our elected officials were. And those people sat in those positions 15, 20, 30 years and did absolutely positively nothing for this community. But y'all won't call them out because they're stakeholders in the community. Our problem is, guess what? Some of the people have been sitting in them seats for a long behind time and ain't did nothing and ain't been held accountable for the nothing that's been done. And I'm not here to talk bad about people. I'm just here to call things to the carpet. Now, do I want to dwell in the past? No, it's not my job to call and dwell in the past. It's my job to actually make sure we move forward into the future. In order for us to move forward into the future, I got to stop talking about the past and look forward as far as what's going on in the future. And when we had that conversation between me and Chester, he told me out of his mouth two things. This is what he said. Jay, you can't believe everybody said. No, I didn't say that to nobody. Now, mind you, I had several people. I like you, Julius, but I don't like you that much. We had several people. Several people come to me and tell me. Several people came to me and tell me. I had people run against everybody. Chester told everybody on the county commission that conversation. You know what I did? I did not do. I didn't fight it. I didn't go public. I took the high road the whole time we ran against each other. After he beat me, I accepted defeat. He said, hey, let's work together. Let's get Chatham County in our hands. I accepted defeat, and I put a good word out there. And like I said, Estella and Yusef pulled me and him together in the room. We had our come to Jesus meeting in private. And at the end of that meeting, Julius Hall, I'll never forget these words. Estella looked at Chester. Charlie Brown, listen to me clear. She looked at Chester and said, you going to take care of this young man right here? Because he going to go for war for you. And Chester looked in her eye and said, yes. She also said, are you going to communicate with this young man right here? She said, yes. Julius Hall, I done seen Chester 3 times since that event. Chester say hi and bye, and that's as far as our conversation goes. And so Julius Hall, Charlie Brown, don't come to me talking about private conversations. Don't come on public platforms talking about private conversations if you ain't willing to stick to what you said in a private conversation and make it factual information. And I'm angry for a reason. You know why I'm angry? Because he did that and he didn't follow through.
Well, you know I'm not for private conversations, period.
Well, my thing is,
we have had private conversation. But I hear you. And I understand where you come from. You should be mad as hell, which you are. And if
Yeah.
I did not know this been happening. You know, I've been out for a while. I know I show up on the show, but I hadn't been on the scene. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I really hadn't been on the scene.
What Charlie Brown? I want the people to understand. I ain't mad about it. I ain't angry not one bit. I'm living good. Everything's moving forward, and progress is going to be made. Todd Rhodes, I talk to that young brother all the time. I talk to people like Todd Rhodes all the time because you know what? One monkey don't stop no show. We're going to move this thing forward because whether they want to see it or not, we're going to take our community back. And if I got to do it brick by brick, one person at a time, I will.
That's
and you
a
can
good
take that to the bank and you can laugh all day about that.
No, it's a good attitude. We got to start. That's a good attitude.
And for the record, Malinda, Todd, Taylor, I'm going to tell you the same thing like I tell them to. Document everything and make sure you make a book about it if you have to. And so when the people say, well, you didn't do it right, or you ain't talking to people, or you ain't doing this, or you ain't doing that, you have that documentation. That documentation never fails you because it's timestamped and it's dated and it's clear-cut information. People fail for two reasons. Lack of information, lack of knowledge. If you got the information and the knowledge, you can beat anything you got to be. I learned that almost 10 years ago, and I still live by that to the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know for a fact that behind the doors, closed meetings does not work, and all that does is give a person who is doing the wrong extra time. Everything needs to be done in the public. Everything. There is no closed doors behind closed doors because the leaders that we have now don't understand that they're supposed to be governing for the people. And that's the problem. They're governing for themselves. So until we change that.
So let me help you with that. The problem, I agree with some of that. I don't agree with all of it because the problem is we do have to have some private conversation, Julius. You have to have private conversation. But if a person ain't doing right by private, you gave me my 15 minutes. I lost four to the storm. You gonna make sure I get mine.
Julius, let Jay go ahead. Let Jay go ahead. Let Jay go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Chief.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
You cannot have closed door meetings when things don't work. Hold on, caller. When things don't work, everything got to come in the public. Of course you're going to have a closed door meeting. That's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to talk behind closed doors. But when they don't work, you come in the public. Everything must be done in the public because these people don't understand what's going on. They're not governing for the people. It's all about them. They get up there and they get power hungry. They get greedy.
Well, I think, Julius, I think that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that exactly words out his mouth to a degree. But everything everything you don't just come to the public. You talk about it. You make a plan. If it don't come, then that's when you err.
Julius, Julius, you already understand. I ain't angry. Somebody out there watching this Zoom right now think I'm angry. I ain't angry. You know why? Because Julius, as I'm sitting back here thinking, you know this better than, and Charlie, you know this too. But Miss Mama Gwen, you know this too. I'm methodical with my thought process. You think I'm doing one thing, I'm doing 15 others. And so you best believe I understand the scope of things. People say, and my thing is, oh, Jay, I don't like Jay. We got our own crabs in the barrel syndrome in our own community. Oh, I don't like Jay because Jay do things like this and he shouldn't do things like that. James ain't playing the status quo game. Taylor, you gonna learn me. I don't play the status quo game. You know why I don't play the status quo game? Because somebody's getting left out when you play that status quo game. And my thing is, I don't have to, and A-Dot, yeah, I see you say call it out. Julius Hall, you know I ain't got to call it out. You know why? Because guess what? I'm old school. Why call it out? I'm going to find a way to beat you, and I'm going to beat you old school if I need to. You know what I mean by that? If you ever heard this conversation, you can hit somebody with a bat, it's going to leave bruises. But if you put rocks in the sock and you beat them, guess what? It don't leave no bruises. But you sure do walk away hurt. I play the sock game. I don't play the back game. You know why? Because the sock game leaves you broken up, but it don't leave you bruised. And that's how we got to start playing politics in our own community. Because you know what? We don't hold our people accountable. And we give them soft pitches all the time. When they railroad, it's the same game. And it's recorded over and over again, Julius. They win when they running for office. Oh, I'm going to promise you the stars, the moon. I'm going to give you everything under the sun. The day after they get elected, not even when they elect, not even when they in position, the day after they get elected, guess what they do, Julius? Guess what? They give away they give away everything to the other side. And then they have private dinners. Talk about those private dinners they have.
And have amnesia when it comes to some of the issues you talked about.
And Charlie Brown, it's worse than amnesia. It's called blacknesia. That's when you forget about just black people.
Okay.
Not amnesia, it's blacknesia.
Yeah.
Blacknesia is when you forget about the black people that you're supposed to be serving. See, that's when we start calling folk out for what they are, then we'll start getting what we need to get.
I think when you went live the other day, and that's some of the things you talked about, what was taking place in Chatham County. You went county, city, you hit all the home runs. You was absolutely right. Because like I say, we should be mad as hell, and so mad when hell freezes over, we fight on the ice. And we don't need to stop.
But you know, Charlie, you know what? The segue, what's happening? Elsa sung it best. Let it go. And after the night, I'm letting everything happen before me today. Let it go. But you know, I ain't gonna forget. It tell you forgive, but it don't tell you to forget. And you know what? Moving forward, Charlie, I got a master plan in my own head. And if we collectively don't want to come up with a black agenda, Malinda will tell you best. I got a black agenda in my head. And it may be super small, and it can be extra large. But guess what? Todd Rhodes, you know I got a black agenda. Belinda know I got a black agenda. And Tyler, you going to learn I got a black agenda too. And Julius Hall, you know I got a black agenda too.
Of course I do. We talk about it every day. Hey, but listen, have you finished, Commissioner Jones?
You took 3 minutes of my time, and I forgot 3 minutes of my speech, so I'm done.
Okay.
Man.
I know we have to wind up, but can I say this? Make this comment.
Go ahead.
The everything that for those who don't know, whether you know or not is irrelevant. But Jay is extremely passionate about what he does. He is extremely passionate about the advancement of people, and injustice, hates it beyond measure. Okay, but see, this is the thing I see in our community, that too many folks, they get up there, they come to your community, they campaign, they say all these different things, these all little sweet nothings. They make promises to your nonprofits because they expect for you to kiss the ring and kiss the butt. So once you kiss the ring and kiss the butt, they got you. And see,
me kiss no tail.
You know, see, my lips don't go in that direction. But all you have to do is drive through the first district. Okay, all you have.
I agree.
All you have to do is drive through the first district, and you will see what has not been done for 16 years plus on the city and county side.
Correct. And know,
so people say just go to the voting box and vote them out. We got to do more than that, folks. You are residents of these communities. We need, and I'm bringing it home, we are residents of these communities. When you see somebody throwing garbage on the medium and they're your neighbor, talk to them about it. Tell them, call them out.
Call them out.
If you love your neighborhood, and again, I can only talk about Cloverdale. If you love Cloverdale, take care of Cloverdale. Don't have all kind of trash in the street. Don't throw trash and liquor bottles. I'll pick up more Hennessy and other kind of liquor bottles at the entrance of Cloverdale, and then a little bit. And we have signs up front that were made, thankfully, and I call a thing a thing. You do right, I'll praise you. You do wrong, I'll let you know, and we'll try to fix it. Kenny Adams, our commissioner, he made the signs up front of our community that said, please do not litter, and it has the community name on it. We need for our neighbors to understand, if you want to take care of your community, you got to take care of your community. You can't look for anybody else to do it. Stop throwing trash.
And
Stop the speeding.
Betty Jones hit it on the head. First and fifth. First and fifth.
We are the ones suffering the most. First and fifth.
I agree with you. A lot of the politicians, they come before you, they put the charm on long enough to get by. And I just got one question to ask you. It wasn't no absolute vodka baller in your neighborhood, was it?
It was all brown. It was all brown, no white.
Okay. I picked up a little bit of everything. Absolute, you know? I have picked up a little bit of everything at our entrance.
Well, wasn't no absolute because I was not over there. No absolute, throwing it out the way.
Todd. On task 1 minute before we go to Mr. Todd. You know what's about to happen is they're about to get a rude awakening all over the county. The 5th and the 1st are waking up. And the 5th especially has a advocacy group out there that is going to be proactive in getting things done.
Correct.
So people got they better watch what's going on. They'll try to do something that last 6 months or that last year and try to appease people, but that's not going to work. We remember what's happening, and it's going to be some heads to roll. Mr. Rhodes, you had something to say before we go?
Yes, sir. I want to give this open invitation. Like I said, I have a youth organization. We're not about this sports. I reached out to some communities before. I went to some neighborhood meetings that they had, I offered them and let them know that we will pick up trash. Not only pick up
Charlie,
trash.
we can hear you, Bubba.
Oh,
not
okay.
Not only pick up trash, but we will volunteer because I have my own landscaping business. That we will volunteer and do seniors yards for free. We'll pick a couple of seniors each week and do their yards for free for them. You would think we'll be successful and we'll have a lot of feedback from that, but it was sad. We did one community, and that was actually on Medding, off of Medding by Montgomery Landings. And man, they never got back with me. We did about 3 seniors yard, and we picked up all the trash from the fairgrounds all the way back to Michael's restaurant. So I am willing with the kids because we're teaching the kids how to act in the community. So please go over there. Let me know when you all having your meeting.
T Rose, we're gonna make that happen again. Don't worry.
I love to bring the kids, and we'll pick up some trash. We'll wash some cars for free for senior citizens, and we'll do some of the yards for free. Some of
Todd, let me explain. Those that know me, they will tell you. Am I lying, Jay? Am I lying, Julius? You ain't saying nothing but a word. I got you.
Yes, ma'am.
Alicia Blakely said, "Stop grouping us together. You all know who is fighting for the people and who is not. That's why we don't call names, Alicia, because it take too long. We know that y'all are fighting. We know that the 4 who are fighting. We talking about the city council and this Vance administration. We know who it is. When people don't call names, they know who it is. Those are people who are engaged. Those people who are engaged and involved, they know that what y'all are doing. Y'all are fighting for the people every day, all day. So, sometimes it's for the lack of time. So when you got time to call out every time what's happening, people know that Alicia Miller Blakely, Keisha Gibson Carter, Vanessa Bryant Lanier, y'all are doing what you're supposed to do.
Oh, you got a shout out there.
Who that?
You got a shout out there, Mr. Rhodes. We greatly appreciate you doing that too. Fella Park gave you a shout out, bro. We still want to work with you. So you got a shout out there. People watching, man, and we're going to make sure people see everything you do, brother. And Mr. Taylor, now I know you. I'm going to get your number from Mr. Rhodes, and now you on the team too, brother.
Most definitely.
And I like to say, Alicia Blakely and them, they go down to the tax things on the first Tuesday of the month, and they stand up for the people and let them know they'll save so many property already. They are working for the people.
And I want to give a personal shout out to the new tax commissioner.
Sonia Jackson.
Sonia Jackson has
Yes,
done
she's
an
looking
excellent
out.
job as far as reinstituting how she's giving people opportunity to pay that debt, and she's asking people just give me something so we can keep and retain it, just so we can make an effort. And she's educating the people. And my thing is, and that ain't me having a conversation with her. That's me having a conversation with the community. And when the community talk for you faster than you got to talk out your own mouth, guess what? That speaks volume in itself. In the DA office, I'm gonna give her a shout out too. And I didn't get a chance to talk about that, Julius, but I'll hold that to next week's show because I want to see how they gonna vote. Put me on next week's show too. I want to strictly talk about just the DA office.
We'll
We need to make sure me and the DA put Shalane on the show too. Me and Madam DA need to be on the show next week because we want to talk about how the DA ain't getting all the stuff she asked for, and she's a Democrat.
Right.
I'm done. Because remember I told you when Elsa come through tonight, I'm letting everything go. I'm letting everything go. I ain't talking about nothing else that's in the past. I'm letting everything go.
Let it go.
Thank you.
Just let it go.
The DA,
Just let it go.
the DA has an open invitation to come whenever she wants to. If she knows that Shalane Jones can come on anytime she wants.
Me and her will be on the show next week.
Julius,
Thank you all
can I
so
say
much.
this before I go? Don't get the district attorney on it because I think I got a warrant out for me. And I'm a little concerned about that. I am. That's not funny now.
Lord, Mr. Brown.
Well, I tell you what, then I won't be on the show next week if she be there.
Wait. You just need to keep
the work.
You need to just keep pushing that warrant until the beginning of the year, so when the Newport Wentworth mayor get in there, he can go ahead and give you a pardon.
Yes. I agree with you 100%. Yes.
Lord, Julius, the stuff you have to put up with, man.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Julius, I better be quiet because you might try to make me do it.
Me too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's who got to do it.
I'm so glad I'm gone, boy.
I thank you guys, Mr. Taylor and Todd. Y'all guys are sensation. Miss Linda, wonderful. Appreciate all the most powerful information you share with us, and I hope everything turn out, the way it should turn out for you and everyone else. Because teams win games, not individuals.
Yeah.
And how does a parachute work?
Yo, man.
You gotta open it.
Elsa, let it go. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Anyway, Crystal is ready to take us out because y'all are 12 minutes over on her time. So I appreciate everybody coming out. We'll see y'all next week right here on the Rabble.
All right. Good night.
Good night.